event would not happen if it was not for her. You might see my face up here, but I don't do registration links, and I don't do all the nonsense that actually gets your butts in the door. Maria is going to teach you all about what she does in the community. I'm so excited for this.
Thank you, Vicky. Hey. All right, so this wouldn't be possible. Community in my life wouldn't be possible without how I started. And so I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of background. 2013, I was single momming, and I was unhealthy, and I knew it. And I traveled for work, and I had been doing that for years. And so as a single mom of 3 kids, my oldest had mental health issues. It was just a lot. So in 2013, I bought something called T25. And I have yet to finish a whole month of it. So T25, I did it and I started, and every month I would start, and then I traveled for work for a whole week. And so I was like, oh, now I have to start all over again. And so this kind of was a repetitive thing. And then sometimes I would post it on Facebook and a sweaty selfie. And I know this because now I get memories that say 2013. And it's my red tomato face. So that's kind of how I was in the ecosystem of BODi at the time, but never had an accountability group, never anything like that. So in the spring of 2015, so 2 years later, I go to my regular well-woman checkup, and the doctor's like, yeah, you have cervical cancer. And I was 32 at the time, again, still a single mom of 3 kids. My oldest had been just diagnosed bipolar, and I felt the weight of the world on my shoulders. And so I felt alone. I felt what am I going to do to keep going? And that summer, I had surgery in June, and they took out whatever was an issue, and I had a 4-month follow-up. That made it October. So that summer, I went through depression, and I traveled every other week because the kids were with their dad every other week. So every other week, I was traveling down to Miami and for work. And when I was here and they were with me, all I wanted to do was sleep. And that's the indication that I knew that I was depressed, and I was letting all of it come on my shoulders. My son was about to turn 10, so I had to plan out his 10th birthday. Back to school was happening. I was making a really good living and broke because everything was just on my shoulders. And so in August, I can actually remember the day, August 15th, I was putting on my favorite pair of jeans, and they did not come right. And it was, you had to wiggle into it and lay on the bed and then I just looked like a potato. And it just didn't feel good. So I had just gotten 2 days before an email from BODi saying, Shanti's coming out with this new program called Size. And it's dancing. And I'm a lot, you may not know me, and you'll see me with a lot of rhythm, but I don't have a lot of coordination. And so if you are telling me that I have to do this and this at the same time, I can feel it, but you can't tell me that's what I have to do, because then my brain's no, that's not happening. So I bought the pack with my last balance on my credit card. I bought the pack, and I get this in, and I take the pictures, and I look at all the material. And August 24th, 2015, I started Size. And I was well, I need to stick to this. I can't let this not, I don't have money for this to be a constant thing. I need to actually take advantage. And so I started posting on Facebook. before I could do this, and I started posting on Facebook. But at this point, everyone knew I had already dealt with the whole cancer thing. They knew that my daughter was dealing with her own mental health struggles. And so I was by myself for whatever, a week. But every post that I saw or that I posted, everyone commented, "Oh my God, you're so inspiring, and that's amazing, and what are you doing? That looks like fun." And so I was like, "Yeah, I got it on here. Go get it. Yeah, this is what I bought." And that Saturday, which was like my day 6, I do my workout, I post it, and I go to a birthday party with the kids. And this friend of mine comes up to me, he's like, "Dude, I've seen you crush it this week. Good job." And I'm like, "Thanks. You know, it feels good to feel good." And he's like, "You're inspiring people. I'm looking at every night. I look at all of your comments on your posts. And why aren't you a coach?" And I'm like, "Brian, I can't even coach myself. How am I going to coach anyone else?" And that was what kept ringing in my ears. And so he let it go. And day 7, I was brave, and I posted my first week video. And that video, I looked like a hot mess, but it was fun, and you could see the joy in my face. And that night, it was 11 something at night, and I get a notification on Facebook, and woohoo, dopamine. And I look at it, and it's Brian, and he's like, "Do you see all of these comments? You're inspiring people." He had nothing to do with BODi. He just knew of the opportunity. "You're inspiring people. Why don't you coach?" And it was one of those epic moments. I'm like, all right. So I go on the website and I sign up. I am somebody's lead. Hello, they exist. I am the unicorn. I am the unicorn. They exist.
I don't know this whole time.
I was someone's lead.
You don't want to make me feel bad, right?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I am somebody's lead.
Wow.
I just signed up, and I guess when I signed up for size, I was her lead there, but then she never reached out to me that whole week or that whole 2 weeks before. So I signed up, and the next day she was in California. She's like, "Who are you? You just showed up in my back office." And I'm like, "Oh, hi, yeah." So I started size, and my friend told me that I should just sign up as a coach because, I'm inspiring people. And she's like, "Can we get on a call?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So she told me, "Hey, that's amazing. Oh my God, your story, blah, blah, blah." We get to know each other. And she adds me to her accountability group. And in that accountability group, I met all these people, and everyone was posting, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is so cool. There's people that do this, and they keep each other accountable. That's awesome." Because Facebook was my accountability. And so when that happened, I connected with these people, and all she told me was, "Hey, you just need to help at least 3 people every month, and you'll get your stuff paid for." Remember, I made great money, but I had a house that depended only on me. My kids needed everything, school, back to school. It was just a lot. And I bought that size pack with the last $200 that I had in my credit card. And so that's how I was like, "Oh, I can get the shape that makes me feel good every month paid for? Heck yeah, 3 people, got it." I became a success starter. Every month I help somebody, right? Or help at least 3 people. October comes around, and that's my follow-up. And I go do the test, and 2 weeks later, the results come back. It was October 15th. I remember that day like yesterday, and the doctor sat me down, and he's like, "Maria, it's back. You have cancer again." And so this isn't new to me. This was the 4th time in my life that I had it. But before, I didn't have kids. I had it at 18 and at 19. And it came back at 32 with a vengeance with 3 kids that depended on me. And I was like, holy heck, what am I gonna do? And so when I decided, at that moment, I'm like, I don't even know. He's like, well, a hysterectomy would probably be the best way to go. And I'm like, I have a daughter that's bipolar. I'm gonna go through menopause. Are you kidding me? Like, it's mood swings and her mood swings. We're already dealing with a lot of issues. Like, this is gonna be World War III right here. And so I was like, I don't know. I have to think about it. So I go home, and the group in my accountability group, they knew that I was getting this result today. And they all were, most of them were in California, and they're like, what happened? I was like, it's back. And I think I'm piecing out. Because at this point, this is 4 times. And I've been feeling so good for this month and a half, but I'm done. Like, I don't know what else to do. I felt like the weight of the world on my shoulders. And so my coach said, Maria, nope. You are going to show up every day. And we're going to make sure of that. We're in California, so by the time we start up, you better be checked in already. You can put it on the next slide, sorry. You better be checked in. My accountability group saved my life. I showed up every day. I did my workout. I drank my shake. I ate what I needed to eat. I actually had vegetables. Guys, I'm Puerto Rican, and vegetables apparently did not exist in our island because it's not something, my family, I still, I bring the healthy dish. So, I did all the things. I started listening to personal development. What was that all about? What? Personal development. But my accountability group saved my life. They made sure that I checked in every day. And when I went in December, when my surgery was December 9th, when I went, I had given myself a goal. I was like, I'm gonna be under 150 pounds by the time I get to my surgery. I was 149.6 pounds the day of my surgery. A week later, I turned 33, and I also had my pathology report. And the doctor sat me down, and he was like, well, Maria, I don't know how, but in all of the pathology report, you have 0 signs of cancer. You guys, I had healed my body. My body did what it was supposed to do because I took care of myself. Okay. Guess who made sure that I did that every day? My accountability group. Those people made sure that every day I showed up. So now, when I invite anyone or when I welcome anyone into my group, and I do it on a Facebook Messenger thread because my brain, okay? It just works better that way. I know that I'm gonna be there anyways. So I set clear expectations. I want you to show up on good days and bad days. It's good days and the not so good days. I actually don't ever use the word bad. I show up on the good days and the not so good days. We are here to help support you and help you through. Because that right there saved my life. Because the days that I wanted to give up, the days that my daughter was having 4-hour crying fits, I was like, nope, not showing up. And it could have been 10 o'clock at night and I was doing 21-day fix. Because they were like, Maria, you have to show up. Okay? So this is really simple. Set the expectations, encourage. I make sure, I have a few people in my group, Ms. Teal, definitely being one of them, is every day you see that she oh, great job, oh my gosh. she always comments and encourages the people that showed up already. And when I couldn't show up, when the littlest thing that I could do was put a picture of myself in there, I had already created the culture of people showing up for each other. So, encourage. That's it. Encourage and support each other. That's what we do. We don't have to have any certification or anything like that. Encourage and support each other. That's what we do. Accountability. When they go quiet, hey, let me tag you. So I can tell you that the reason that Teal shows up every day is because I tagged her once because she wasn't showing up. And she says to me, I show up because I'm like, oh my gosh, they call you out in this group. That's seriously. One day I was like, I've had it. People are being like real quiet, and I kept like adding everyone that I did not see show up. Or message them on the side if you don't feel comfortable doing that. But they just know me, and that's just my spice, and whatever, you know? And then have fun. Have fun. Inside jokes. So when I'll bring this up. So when I was dating, I had my whole accountability group vetting and checking on the Tinder or Bumble people that I was going on dates with. And we would then have a full conversation afterwards when I was like after my dates. And they're like, yeah, he's really cute. And I'm like, no, he wasn't that cute. Or you create this culture of like family. These aren't my customers or my partners. They're my family. They're my extended family. We have fun. Miss Brandy's over there. She is, and I'll bring in this a little later. But she's our CEO. She's also our Chief Creative Officer because she's really creative and I am not. So, we just have fun. We do sip and sweats. So once a month or whatever, we'll sip on some Energize and sweat together on a Zoom. You create that culture. Go ahead. And then, because you have such an amazing culture, you build a team. So I can literally, I get so excited when these happen because I have 3 people here from St. Pete, Tampa area, and I get to go hang out with them. I don't see them all the time. I go on trips with people that I'm connected with through this business. I would love to spend all day with my people. It would make my heart happy to spend all day with my people. So, friendships. Again, find people that you want to spend all day with. And that might not be everybody that's in your customer list or whatever, but the people that I know that I could not live without, that my heart's pulling towards, those are the people that I make sure that are doing this with me. Encouragement. So you're building a legacy. I literally, and maybe you can see it, I have legacy tattooed on me because that is, I feel like my story is powerful enough that if I'm still here, it's meant for something much greater than me. And I think that we all have that. So if you are like, oh, but I don't have any big, you're here. You've already survived your worst day, right? So you're building a legacy because when you help a mom, it's not just helping a mom, it's helping her whole entire family. So remind yourself of that. Why are you doing it, right? We encourage it. You remind your people every day. That's what you're working towards. Teal, in our first getting started right call, she told me her goal was to go, she lived in Orlando area. She told me she wanted to go live on the coast in front of the water. And I was the most happy when she told me, Maria, we bought our place on the water. Like, that's so powerful. Sharing those things, reminding reminding them of the goals that they already gave you, that they told you that they were shooting for, because it isn't about hitting Success Club, it's about the things that you get to do because you hit Success Club. So, help create that vision. Remind them why they started. Support. When they go quiet, you tag them, you message them. And if you're like Brandy, you have to send a text and a Marco Polo and a Facebook Messenger thread.
On my front door.
I know where she lives. If I have to go to Tampa to do it, that's fine. But listen, they started for a reason. So support them in that reason. Help remind them. And then have fun. So we have our CEO. I'm the Chief Energy Officer because why not? I bring the spice. And we have Brandy, this is our Chief Creative Officer, and Teal is really great organizing. And so when we have to set up team calls, she messages me at the beginning of the month, hey, what days are we doing team calls? And I give it, and that makes her planner heart happy. And it makes what I don't like to do is to stay organized. I'm a controlled chaos. And so she is my organizing person. So she's my chief organizational officer. That's her right there. So just have fun. Do spirit weeks. Find the strengths in your team and have something that goes around that. When we do spirit week for our groups, Brandy puts everything together. I will bring the energy. I will dress up in suspenders with a bow tie, whatever. But she's gonna do all the creative stuff, and then they feel like they have agency into the team. I couldn't imagine them not being in my life, and they're a part of it, and they make my heart happy. So literally, I would spend all day with them. So on invites, you do you. I am more of I speak from my heart, and I do videos and I do voice recordings. Voice memos and videos are my thing. The other day I was walking and I was winded, but I saw a lot of signs. I feel like I'm very connected. My dad passed away October 2022. And when I couldn't show up and all I could do was a picture and send it to the team, they showed up for me, right? They helped me encourage and support everyone else. That's built in your team. So my signal when I'm thinking of my dad, and when I have a picture on my fridge every morning when I'm putting my ice in my cup and I energize, I say good morning to my dad, and I ask for his blessings, and I tell him, guide me however you need me today. And usually it's cardinals. Cardinals are my sign for him. And I never saw them before, and now they're everywhere. I know their chirp, and when I hear it and I don't see him, I tell him, I hear you. Are you going to come let me see you today? And on my walk the other night, I was okay, I'm all alone. I don't even have my headphones on. I hear him. Okay, guide me. What do I need to do? And I started thinking of people and voice message, you were on my heart today, and I just feel, we had what's it called, the sneak peek group. I feel like I need to tell you about this group because you just came to my heart, and my dad, and I just saw a cardinal, and listen, I'm listening to the signs that the universe is giving me, even if it's a bird. And I had a girl who was like, oh my God, thank you for sharing about your dad, that's so awesome. Yeah, I'll add me to the group. And I'm like, sounds good. But let it come from your heart. I don't like scripts. I did the whole script. I think it doesn't feel right. So whatever feels right, I always say do that. So to me, I had you on my heart today. It could have been that I just saw their little bubble pop up and it's like in green, and that means that they're online. So I'm like, you came to my heart because I saw your bubble pop up. It's okay. You do whatever you need to do, but you do you. And say it from the heart because it never goes wrong that way. It never comes off as oh, they're just trying to sell me something. But that's how you build your community. And I don't have anything else right now. That's how you build your community. I could tell you that my community saved my life. I am here, and I will forever be here. And no matter how long it takes to get to wherever there is no end. I am going to be the grandma of BODi doing size forever now.